Hey, it's Brock here from Uncommon Aquatics, and today is an exciting day because we have live fish in this box that I special ordered. And like most of these fish introduction videos, this is a fish that I'm very excited to own. What I'm doing right now, since I have bigger tanks than I used to have, is I'm stocking all the kinds of fish that I couldn't have before because they would have outgrown my tanks I used to have. And a couple of people have been commenting that I'm adding so many fish that get big that this tank will quickly be overstocked. And that's true, but I actually picked up 2 new aquariums today that you guys will see within a couple weeks. They're not small tanks either. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and feed these guys so there'll be less aggression in the tank when I add these guys. Alright, there we go. Besides, that'll give some activity in the background while I'm talking. So both of these are species that I guess I would describe it as they're related to the other types of species I've kept. But that's really cold. And that bag is freezing, which is a downside of transport. But this is a Vieja cichlid. We're going to get these guys in the water and let their bag get warmed up. And I'm going to acclimate these slower than I'm used to. Geez, those bags are cold. And these guys are tiny, tiny little fish. And this is a monster fish. It will be a monster fish, but right now it's tiny. The second fish is a jaguar cichlid, which can grow up to 2 feet in the wild. More realistically, within a reasonable time frame of, say, 5 years, you're going to have about a 12-inch fish, maybe 15, somewhere in that range. In an aquarium, a lot of times the sizes you see listed are wild caught, huge, 15-year-old fish in a lake, and it just won't get that big in your aquarium. But it's still a big fish, and it's an awesome fish. And the idea here is that this 210 gallon is really going to be a grow out tank for a 500 to 1,000 gallon aquarium that I build myself. So what I want to do right now is let these guys finish acclimating, then we'll get them in the tank and I'll tell you more about these 2 species. This is a Vieja Sinspillum. It's a gorgeous fish when it's mature. Kind of plain looking right now, but that's, you know, just part of the hobby. Juvenile fish are not nearly as pretty normally as the full-grown versions. We're gonna go ahead and let this guy out of there, guy or girl, whatever we have. I'd like to be adding fish that are a little bit bigger so that they match what is already in there, but you don't always get to choose that sizing. I should absolutely be quarantining these fish, but I just don't have the quarantine tank set up. I need to prioritize that. So here we are. So basically, I was hoping, you know, like this jaguar, I was hoping it was like a 3 to 4 inch fish instead of a 2-inch fish. A lot of websites don't tell you exactly what size you're going to get, and it's very expensive to grow these up inside the facility where they're bred, because you need so much tank size to handle volumes of mid-sized fish, and then the expense of feeding those fish, and there's reasons, and it makes sense why they're so expensive to get larger, mature versions of these fish. But this guy is the size that he could be eaten by my Oscar. But let's hope that doesn't happen. So that is my turquoise or green Severum. For a size reference, he's not the biggest fish in here, but he's on the bigger side. And that shows you the size of that jaguar. But there are other small fish in here. Like this Oscar is not very big. That Severum's not very big. And the convict isn't very big. So hopefully he's welcomed into the group and he's a fast grower. Because the real predators in here are the arowana and this big albino Oscar. And actually, these guys, the bichers, I caught one of these bichers trying to eat a pretty good size bristlenose the other day. So they are a threat for sure. So there's the Vieja in the back. This green terror right here kind of feels like he's the king of the tank. But usually, that becomes more of a problem between two fish that both think they're the king of the tank. Like this Vieja, if it's smaller and shy and just checking things out, probably isn't going to be the brunt of the aggression. See how it looks. A little bit rough. Yeah, really, I should be doing quarantine on these fish. And I'm just going to have to start and not make excuses for why I don't quarantine. I've just got to start quarantining these fish. Because if this fish has ick or anything else from that cold shipment in the winter, then all of these fish, I could lose all of them. The last time I introduced a sick fish, I ended up losing about 5 or 6 fish out of this tank because of that one sick fish. So that should have been a lesson learned. Got a firemouth. There's the Jack Dempsey. That guy's name's Popeye. Got the deformed mouth. That's the Carpentus, which is a blue Texas, electric blue Texas. I missed getting it on camera, but this guy's already been eating. He's still picking at the food a little bit, but he ate one of these cichlid pellets. It's pretty good size for a fish that size. Jaguar's not coming over here, but the Vieja is. So there he is. He looks healthy and happy. Hiding a little bit, just staying back between those leaves. I don't blame him. If I was the smallest guy around, I might hide a little bit too. Currently the smallest fish in here, but max size, the second biggest fish in here. Okay, so I'd love to hear your comments and your opinions or your experiences with these specific fish. Have you kept Vieja or Jaguar cichlids before? I can't wait to see these grow into their mature versions. I appreciate you taking time to watch the video. I'll put links on the screen to a couple more of our videos, and I'll see you next time.